Hope everyone had a good 3-day Memorial weekend. I sure did. We're here with Avacyn, Angel of Hope, 8-mana 8/8. I played this over a year ago. I don't even remember playing it, but apparently I did. It looked somewhat like this. I'm not running Redane or anything like that. I am running Archon of Emeria, and what's the new one? Voice of Victory. This thing seems very annoying, just like Grand Abolisher. I don't own Grand Abolisher. I don't think these cards are super necessary, but, I kind of like them. I'm not trying to tempo people out with like a 1-drop, 2-drop, 3-drop, 4-drop, swing, swing, swing. So I took out Skrelv and the other Skrelv, Giver of Runes, because all they really do is stop us from getting exiled, but they come in early and then they don't do much until way later, and they only sometimes do something. So I don't think that's worth it just for Avacyn. It's also not impossible to cast Avacyn multiple times if it does get countered or exiled. The counter spell stuff is the more annoying of the bunch, I would say. But if I get hit by exile cards a lot, I can run protection spells, like 1-mana protection spells, if I feel like that's happening too much. But I don't know if I expect that. Same with like the Aura's Witness Protection and stuff. You can just bounce it right off with protection. But until I see that happening all the time, I'm not gonna worry too much about that. So, bunch of mana rocks, some pretty interesting things to do at the top end. Nothing too exciting though, but typical stuff. I am running Search for Glory, which wants Snowlands, but nope, I'm running these. You can't stop me. I'm boycotting Snowlands. That's the mood I'm in currently. Alright, let's go. Let's do it. Oh, right, Karn the Great Creator is in here too. Right. I just saw the notification. I don't know how often this is annoying for people, opponents, but it is something I see in mono white a lot, and that's kind of the only place I ever see it. I don't normally see it anywhere else, not that I can think of. It's usually just mono white having this kind of thing to sporadically irritate certain strategies. Same with Wintermoon, right? You're colorless, or you're a single color deck, you might as well see, keep the format honest as much as possible. Wintermoon, it randomly wins games, so, Alright. No? Exile top 2 cards. Okay. Opponent has Thud. Interesting. So, could have played Lamb this turn if I played a Mana Rock last turn, but then it would probably just die before I get anything out of it. Do I blow it up now? Should probably go ahead and do that. Though... Alright, yep. Is that gonna trade? Oh, guess not. Could have exiled that before they did that, honestly. Could have done that. Probably should have done that. So this, and then nothing, because rip. Slightly more ideal. Play them backwards, that's alright. Alright, well, I'll go with that. Yep. Alright, that's not gonna work out too well. Could have went to combat first, actually. Yeah, that's, probably shouldn't have blocked there, huh? Sarkon. Alright. Shows that thing. Sure. There's no way I don't play this, as much as Meta Tide would have been excellent last turn. Okay, so... How much mana? I don't have enough mana. Alright. That's probably a really good draw. Do I play it? Kind of makes my opponent feel weird. I don't know. It's probably not right to play that. Okay. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We actually do have a White Suns here. Or, yeah, White Suns Twilight. Yeah, non-green. Also, this is an 8 mana commander, not 7. We deal damage, it deals double. So we take 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Worth it. And then I lose to Spell Pierce. Oh, cool, I didn't lose to Spell Pierce. Alright, 2-turn clock, let's go. That is really nice to see. I like that. I think there is some kind of 1-mana spell. Oh, I didn't cast it. So, do I cast anything? I could cast this, but that seems reckless. It seems reckless and unnecessary. My opponent needs to play Cavern of Souls. Alright, they did not, so I think I just win. Yeah. Mana Tide. Look at that. Mana Tide and a 7-drop. So if that did hit 2 dragon... Oh, the dragon it would hit would have to be insane here. I mean, the Specialize is 6 mana. That is very steep. Overwhelming Splendor is kind of lights out for a black-red creature deck, too, so... We just try to race to 8 mana here. Oh, okay, that's pretty good. Haven't seen that card in a minute, though. Yeah, like I said, we're just gonna play mana and not care about anything. The heck is Flame Skull? Okay. And play this. I can just play Archon. Yep. I can't Mana Tithe. I probably wouldn't Mana Tithe here. Yeah, I mean, well, like I said, I've been saying it a few times in the past couple weeks, where this format is not, like, sweeper heavy like it is standard. The standard version of this format is very sweeper heavy. But here it's not really that necessary. I'm gonna Mana Tithe that. Because I might as well. Yep, okay. How do they beat Overwhelming Splendor? Alright, they can't beat it. They can't beat it. Woo! This is a cool card. I haven't seen this since Standard. Way back when I played Standard. What's this do? Alright, so they have 5 mana for all cards. The only based 5-color commander? I don't know if I think that one is. Man, this is actually really, really good here. Alright, problems. This is insanely good here. Oh, I can't. Oh, wait. There we go. Yeah, the Joda ley line. Alright, we're just gonna... We're doing this. We're just hoping Farewell wins. I was about to say, there is no way you have an Ornithopter there. Is this an Ornithopter? No, it's a Construct. Or Thopter, not Ornithopter. I do exile my own artifacts. Might be a problem. Have you missed anything? Nope. Do I even play this here? Do I even play this? I think I do. They only have one artifact, so... They only have one artifact. There's a chance they play another here. Maybe even 2 more. No, that's not it. Is this when it dies or when it leaves? When it dies. Huge. Alright, so we have a really good... Why didn't they swing with the hanger back? Oh, they want to do the thing. Alright, yeah, we're gonna exile all creatures. Can play Avacyn next turn, and I don't think there's anything colorless can do about it, except, like, Eldrazi and Portal. I will keep Ossification, still always right to loot. 5, so yeah. Can I play this first? 5, 6, nope, I cannot. Alright, Avacyn. You're up. do some stuff. There are no colorless cards that they can play to stop this, and I can kill this if they play it. Could be a combo deck. I kind of doubt that, though. Oh yeah, they could have the other Ujin. That is true. They could have it. Which would probably be a huge issue, actually. I can't even find... Wait, did I take out Ulamog? Does anyone know? Everyone who was staring at the deck list while I was gone. Is Ulamog in it? Can I find it off this? I don't know if Ulamog's in our deck. I don't think it is, but I don't want to go look. But it's not like the overwhelming splendor does anything anyway. Okay, well I can find it now. It's still there? Alright. Overwhelming splendor just gets blown up by this anyways. Oh, it doesn't, because it's indestructible. But it probably serves us right to just simply avoid exile effects on vulnerable permanents, because we don't have to worry about that. I should probably kill that. Okay, that was an easy draw to satisfy my idea of killing things. I will kill the token because I get an extra permanent dealt with. Wait a minute. No, I have to do this because they have a second flyer. Alright, good thing I didn't mess that up. Could I even activate it? 3, 1, 2, 3. Oh, I could have. Yeah, I don't think I'd do that though. Alright, this kind of gives me combo vibes. Yeah, I like Retrofitter Foundry. When your opponent doesn't have Ornithopter on turn 1. Probably a very good idea to not let Mystic Forge solo me. And I will keep the Obelisk around because there's no reason to use it and crack it now. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, there's no reason to do it now. Alright, cool. You won't play against Ketramos, though. If you played against Ketramos, then yeah, that's yeah. But you're not going to play against Ketramos with this. That is probably an auto loss, though. Yeah, I'll play this. Seems like a bad counter spell. I would like to try to blow that up. So I will. This has flash? Oh, it does. That's adorable. Go to combat. Not gonna play this. I could activate the Guardian Idol. Kind of weird, though. I don't lose the game if this gets countered. You don't really want to counter ramp spells. Okay, so it looks like... What is this? Memory Deluge? Exile top 3 cards of your library face down, then pile of 3 cards, another face down, look at the pile, piles, alright. Well, they could have countered it if I waited. Choose a pile to put to your opponent's hand. They do not have lands in their hand? So, there you go. I have 6 damage. Probably best to simply play out Avacyn. I can also just play this. So now it's just exile effects. Lands River's Rebuke. Perfect Edict. They did not kill the right creature, in my opinion. A bit odd. Alright, so I have lethal with a mana rock that could be very difficult to deal with. We did it. We did it. Oh no, they have Mana Tithe. Tragic. Alright. Tragic. Probably won out in that, though. I drew off of Vesper Sentinel where I thought it was probably not going to happen this game. So I would argue I probably won out. I mean, you're not trading. Oh, there you go. Let's play this. What does Blue Timber do? For each color? Okay. Bruh. Yep. Do I play the Search for Glory? Why would I do that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's reasons. There are reasons. Those reasons being all of these cards. One Ring is interesting. Could they severely struggle to stop Sarah? That feels kind of wrong to ever worry about. Probably just get the One Ring. It feels kind of dumb to not get the One Ring here, I think. Although we could get a Sweeper. No, let's get the One Ring. I'm not trading with Ragavan, so... Alright, they didn't even give it haste. They did give it haste, of course. Silly me. Alright. Rocco's busted? I don't think that at all. Good old Archivist coming in when it doesn't need to. Okay, is Farewell good? These are treasure tokens, which are, yet again, profoundly annoying. There's not much I can do about that. I think I should exile these treasure tokens. I don't know. Let's see what happens. I'm all in. I feel like I lose too much, but I don't know, maybe I don't. Okay. Play this. Play this. Yep. Okay, well. What do they have that deals with this? Apparently nothing. Alright. Anim Pakal, that certainly isn't it. Does this... Alright, we did it! We did it. Yep, just no answer for Avacyn. How do Keenan players have opponents? Wait, other Keenan players? What do you mean? Or my opponent... Maybe my opponent was in queue for like 20 minutes because nobody was queuing into them. That's why they were AFK there. Because they've been in queue for like 10 minutes. The game can't find anyone to pit them against. So it's like, oh yeah, here's an Avacyn player. There you go. You two have fun. Hope you enjoy each other. I could probably cast Avacyn and then lose to, like, a bunch of completely random things that, like, don't even really matter that much. Alright, I lost my Mana Rock. Wasn't expecting that. Lost it with an interesting card, too. Alright. That does slow me down. This is the upkeep thing, right? I'm gonna play Obelisk here? For sure? Yeah. What does that do? Does that hit my... Okay. They only see that card, though. They don't see the rest of the hand, which is nice. Untimely Malfunction? Oh, is that what they played? Yeah, it's fair. Look at all those upkeeps, chat. Look at all those upkeeps. 4, 5, 6. So we play this and we swing, or do we not swing? I think not swinging is right. I think not swinging is correct. There's a chance I might have to really block here. Alright, well, I guess not. Never mind. Alright. Well, I have the Avacyn, but that doesn't mean I win. They had the counterspell, so get wrecked. Looks like no Edict in hand. Huge. You can swing, yeah, let's go with Menace. Alright, look at that. Look at that. Okay. Strange. Slightly less strange. Hilarious. Alright, I guess the Silex was too much for him? Tezzeret. Another Esper Sentinel game. Went from having none to all of them. Plunderer's Prize for 0. It finds Chrome Mox. Okay. Interesting. I feel like I should just exile that card, because my opponent invested so much into doing that. Yeah. Especially with Esper Sentinel in play, this could just be really good. Alright, look at that. It actually was. Cool. I feel like I just played a game of Legacy. Alright. They're both kind of the same. This one probably slightly better right now. Alright, I wasn't sure if sweepers would be good here. Do I have to... I don't actually have to make a move here. And if I do, well, then maybe I'll regret it in the future, but I'm gonna do this. Smothering Tithe? Because Winter doesn't like Smothering Tithe? So, sure. Rest in Peace would probably be what I would have gotten there if I had it. Winter Moon. Well, here's where it is really, 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 really good. I think I just won the game. Alright. My opponent's back to turn 1. Oh, if only I had faith. Man, if this was in play for that. I guess it wouldn't really fundamentally change that much, but still tragic. Alright. Which one? They have to blow up Winter Moon, so I keep my Smothering Tithe. Well, that's pretty good, but we're gonna cast this first. So what does Jund do other than Edicts? Which I would be a little bit surprised to see. They did have Liliana the Veil, though. Guess it's not that surprising. That completely whiffs. That doesn't work, opponent. It doesn't work. Avacyn got someone, chat. It got somebody. Look at that. They cast a destroy effect and it didn't do anything. I'm gonna keep this in hand. I don't need it, so... This is also exactly 14. Oh no, it's not a... Oh! Okay, that one lives. That one lives. I was gonna say, this is not a 3-3. It doesn't live through Elish Thorn. Literally unplayable because of that exact scenario. And for no other reason. Fatal pushes in their deck. Alright, can we kill them? We can, right? Yeah, alright. They actually know about this card too. Sweet. Am I scrying? I don't think so. Though it wouldn't be the worst idea. Could have also played Witch Enchanter there actually as a tap land. Would have been right. Alright, let's see, do they have it? Do they have it? Let's find out. They do not have it. Unbelievable, chat. They don't have it. Literally unbelievable. Cannot believe. Okay. I mean, we know they just found a vampire. Looks like they don't have a good one. Yep. Am I killing Soren? I think so. Doing it in combat's fine. They can't use the map tokens right exactly now. Yeah, I think that's fine. I do have the One Ring. My opponent doesn't want Necropotence? Whoa. That seems nuts to me. Alright, just leave up Solitude? Because I don't want to play the One Ring right now? Yeah. Okay. And I will trade because it's very unlikely. Very, very unlikely that... Well, I could just not trade. Maybe that's fine. Maybe that's just fine. Like, if they kill it, they just cast a spell to kill it, and that's like... Who cares? Wow. I have not seen that creature in a very long time. That's pretty cool. Remember when this was like $30? I remember. They have to now kill my stuff. That doesn't kill my stuff. Okay. They did not kill my stuff. Interesting. Stuff is unkilled. Huge and true. Trading life favors us? I think. Could wait a turn. There's almost no downside. I think if we both gain life, it favors me than the other way around, so. Alright, so it's just Edicts and Exile. Sure. Still not gonna scry with the Maze Mind's Tome. This is not indestructible, unless I'm not understanding something. Pretty sure that's not indestructible. Okay. Interesting. Don't get that. Maybe they didn't know? There has to be like a grasp of darkness, maybe? Ah, alright. So we found the reason. It's one of the most annoying reasons, but it's a reason why they did what they did. Oh, never mind. It doesn't work, chat. I had this same issue before. I thought you could Toxic Deluge through lethal damage. Yep. I thought that would work. That's the second time that's happened. It happened when we were playing Ulamog. And I'm like, oh no, it's gonna die if I block a 10-10 to like a -2/-2 or something, but that's just not how it works. Doesn't come up too often. Yeah, treasure map's just very, very, very slow. Alright, we did nothing for 2 turns. That usually means you've lost. But we'll see. Pick up the tap land? Oh. No, I cast this. It can technically draw, and I think I will draw with it. I don't know if life total is super relevant in this matchup. Although I'm not specifically looking for anything. Though that will take a card out of my hand, so yeah, let's just draw. Could proliferate it now. Seems hardly worth it. Okay, well, could just play this. I value privacy, so yeah. I don't want my opponent to see my hand. Alright. Looks like that actually worked out. No Sanctum of All, so we just win. Alright, they played the 2 colors that are not great for you in a green strategy. They just don't have green. Okay. Interesting. And that's annoying, but is it worth doing anything about? I feel like it isn't. Wait, hold on. No. Alright, we just let them play their commander and then struggle against the barrage of treasure tokens. Could be annoying. This is a very linear strategy, but I don't like my situation currently. Karn plus feels like it's... Is that right? Karn plus reprobate here, it doesn't die and they don't have treasure tokens? Alright. I like it. I like it. I like it as much as I do. This is probably the best Karn can possibly be, so... No additional haste threat. Kind of crazy. Swinging at Karn, too. They're actually swinging at Karn. They respect Karn. There's an argument to just ignoring Karn. Opponent doesn't deem that argument worthy. We drew basically the same as drawing a land here. Basically. I'd probably prefer to have drawn a land instead of Mind Stone, but it's the same thing, I guess. 4, 5, 6. So we can cast Avacyn. They cannot recast that, so I'm a bit surprised they sent it here. You need way more mana to cast that again. They found a land off the top. I mean, if you're going to use the black mana, you might as well, right? It's not like this is doing anything else, so fair enough. This Karn was definitely a very good idea. They've invested an obscene amount of stuff into it. I would rather cast Overwhelming Splendor here than cast Avacyn. Looks like there's a green protection spell. It could be a combat trick. So maybe Karn is doomed. Though I think it's already done everything it needs to. Alright, yeah, look at that. Alright. So I gotta say, I'm kind of impressed with Avacyn. There are games where it just wins when you play it. Not everybody has a Frogify, an Exile effect. Honestly, bounce spells aren't too scary unless they're coupled with counter spells and you don't have your Gathering or something, but didn't actually see too many counter spells. I did, for some highly unusual reason, I don't know what... This is probably the most egregious I've ever seen it, but I played against a Keenan deck. I don't even think it's worth playing it out. Like, if you see Keenan and you're playing Avacyn, you probably just auto-concede. I don't think you can win even if they skipped 3 turns. They have like an infinite amount of weird stuff. All the big blue-green stuff you just can't cleanly answer is going to get you eventually. And then all the Eldrazi, it's just, I don't know. That was very weird, but it didn't happen too much, fortunately. The ability for this to win the game is definitely there. Is it better than Satalpa? Probably. I like Satalpa more because I think Satalpa's like awesome. But Avacyn giving your other things indestructible is arguably, you know, probably better than Satalpa, but I don't know, I'm biased towards Satalpa. Even mono black decks don't always have the answer for this. It has to be an exile effect, it has to be an edict. They don't always have an answer. There's also a ton of decks that kind of stop doing high-powered things, right? All of the super high-powered things are like 1, 2, and 3. So there might just be less room for people to play in their deck answers to stuff like this, right? Because you have to come prepared for all of the other things the format's doing that are way more powerful and way faster. So this is definitely not like a beatdown kind of thing. It's just mono white control, like Redain and, again, Zatalpa. Mostly Redain, though. I like all the sweepers, right? It lets you offset the loss of value when your opponent, say, is drawing a bunch of cards and playing a bunch of creatures. If you can't draw as much as them, they're going to have to find 2-for-1s in some way, and that's where the sweepers come in. Because ordinarily, sweepers aren't like super high impact like they would be in standard Brawl, just as people playing 1 or 2 really scary creatures, typically earlier than later, leads to sweepers not getting a ton of value. But if you ignore your opponent for a while and you take like 10 or 15 on purpose by just not committing anything, and then 4-for-1ing them with a sweeper, it's a good way to definitely catch back up in that kind of situation. I did misplay some of my Heliod's ossification sort of things. I think there were 2 games where I cast this instead of not casting it, just to cast a sweeper next turn, and then I just lost this anyways. Right? It wasn't like I had to answer the creature with this card in that exact iteration, that instance, but so that's something to pay attention to. Just because you can remove something doesn't mean you have to, and then you can cast a sweeper, it dies anyways, and then you have this for later. So I made that mistake, I think, 1 or 2 times. I still don't think I like Elspeth. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. You don't need this. I thought it was good. I think I've already talked about this card in mono white slowness. That it does do the entire token thing alone, so it doesn't need help with tokens. Very uncommon. I think it's really the first card in Magic that's ever done that. But it doesn't mean that what it's doing is complementing the rest of this, especially if I'm still in the cast sweepers for days and lose the tokens situation. It does have a solid -3 though, and it does apply lethal pressure at some point. It's just very slow to do that relative to something like Teferi. The 5 minutes of Teferi, or even Jace or anything, so it's not quite up there with those. I would love if this had some kind of card draw instead of one of the other things, but then I don't know, what would it be doing? So it could probably just be a card draw spell of some sort. Hard to get a ton of card draw in mono white, though. Overwhelming Splendor, pretty solid. Huge fan of it, right? Especially when it just slam dunks into play. Your opponent can't do anything about it. But yeah, I'd say probably a 7 or 8 out of 10. If I was going to start rating commanders, but that rating will change as time goes on. So as of right now, not 6 months from now, somebody in my comments one time rather recently commented on a video that was like 8 months old, and they were recommending cards and stuff that didn't exist when I made the video. They're like, this commander's so bad now, or like, what are you talking about? Like, it's 8 months old. The video's a year old. I don't know what you want. They probably didn't know that. It's just funny. So as today, I guess 7 or maybe even 8 out of 10. I think this is mono white sweeper removal control-y thing in general is in an okay position. So probably, you know, higher up there. But the big blue green decks where they can almost completely and utterly ignore you are a nightmare. I didn't see too many though, and they're not totally auto losses, but they are definitely a bit of a nightmare. You don't have counter spells, and what they're doing doesn't really care if it sticks around after they've done it, like, you know, Eldrazi or any of the ETB creatures or giant spells like River's Rebuke and stuff like that. So it's just kind of rough. The green side of their deck is like early mana, and then it doesn't matter if you deal with that, because drawing and going back and forth, you're gonna run into the big mana stuff eventually before this kills your opponent, most likely. So let me know what you thought about it. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.